your name matched.
Okay,
Funded by the state.
armed robbery, and you didn't even write the whole. You didn't even
I was
generate a
gonna
report.
do it. I was gonna do it,
You
and
gotta
then I
fucking generate a
forgot.
report right now. Fuck.
What's your name?
This DA is gonna
It's
fucking eat this case, and he's gonna throw you out and fire you and
State attorney.
kill your family or
write a
something.
report right now.
Not a report, but like generate the
Yours
fucking
says
title
state
at
attorney,
least.
and it says, I'll
I
fight for you.
generated a title.
Where
on the
is it?
court's dime.
Armed
It's at the
robbery?
top.
That's not what he's talking about.
Yeah, well, I typed in lawyer, and you're the first one that
It
comes up, pals.
is he's talking about the helicopter shit, right?
I don't know. We're gonna find it.
That stems from an armed robbery.
See, I figured that you weren't going to help me, so that's why I didn't call you.
All right, court is now in session. Okay, Mr. Sparrow Jack, please step forward to the stand.
Oh, man, I'm kind of nervous.
All right, Mr. Jack, what are we here for today? What are we doing?
Well, I would like to get a certain charges removed so that I'm able to get my pilot's license.
Okay.
I already purchased a plane and everything, and I was told that yesterday I could get a pilot's license even regardless of my charges, but today they've switched up and said because I have recent flight charges, as in flying, as in operating a vehicle that goes in the sky, charges, I cannot get my license, which makes me very sad.
Okay.
And so I would like to see those charges removed that I believe happened yesterday, but might have been the day before. I kind of forget.
It happened on the 26th of May.
Which
So
would be yesterday.
So you want this specific charge referencing stunt or reckless flying without permit, operating aircraft while not on ATC communications,
Bingo.
and minimum height violation and unlawful flight and armed robbery.
But I have good points to make against all of those charges that I guess.
Sure. So here's what I'm gonna do. All right. Since we have the officer who arrested you, what I want to do is I want to hear her report on it. Okay.
Okay.
So go back to your stand. McDougan, please step to the stand. All right. Understand, McDougan, and I can't get you to swear yourself in, but you are now sworn in. You are under oath. If you lie, you'll be under the penalty of perjury. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Explain what happened in this incident yesterday.
Okay. So, I get a call for an armed robbery at the LTD in Little Seoul. I respond. Upon arriving on scene, I see a helicopter landed in the parking lot and one individual running out of the store dressed only in his underwear. The helicopter takes off. It flies in the air a little bit. I follow it. I watch it come in for a landing at Vespucci helipad. I sit there and wait for it to touch down and for them to get out. They got out and they were running around in the area. I waited for an additional to arrive before I moved in. I ordered them to stop running multiple times before I struck them with my baton. Sparrow Jack was in the driver's seat, and one crispy bacon was in the passenger seat and was the individual in his underwear that had ran from the store and gotten into the helicopter.
Okay. Thank you. You can now return to your position. Sparrow, please step forward.
Excuse me, Your Honor. The state has a question for Miss McDougan, if
Oh,
possible.
sorry. McDougan, return to the stand. Remember, you're still under oath. District Attorney, go ahead.
Was there a reason you did not deploy your taser cartridge system?
I did not have any cartridges on me.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you. Defendant, please step forward. Okay. You said you had good points to bring up about this. Go ahead. Please enlighten me. Enlighten us.
Okay. First off, I'm going to kind of go back. I'm going to start at the end and then go towards like recent stuff, you know? So this is going to be kind of confusing, but just stay with me here. Okay.
Sure.
So first off, but really last off, it's the whole timeline. I was beat brutally by a baton twice. I literally could not run. I was a cripple. How was I going to run from you? Instead, I got beat by a baton twice, which didn't feel very nice. And then she rolled in on her motorcycle and said, "Stop running." And then I literally stopped and got smacked up. Didn't feel very good. Also, I didn't see you connect to the ATC radio channel. I was in there.
What's the radio ATC channel number?
111.
All right. All right.
I was named and
cont-
everything.
Continue.
Then I don't understand what the low flying violation was, considering I went up in the sky, went to the helipad, and landed it.
So did you land where McDougan said you landed?
I was not paying attention.
Okay, so McDougan, I'm pretty sure said that you landed in front of a store. Am I mistaken?
Correct.
Well, basically what happened was my friend
What had
Chris
happened
P,
was-
he's kind of a mischievous little weasel. He called me and said emergency, right? And my duty as a citizen of this fine city was to help. I was not aware of said activities he was partaking of inside of the store. I thought he
Excuse me,
needed
Your Honor.
a medivac.
Stop talking, please. Go ahead.
The state would just like to contribute some information. Mr. Chris P. Bacon was additionally arrested yesterday after that offense for threatening a civil servant and unlawful discharge of a firearm at the district attorney for the state of San Andreas, and is a career criminal.
Okay. All right.
Okay, as I acknowledge this, I really only want to fly my plane. I have spent $65,000 plus an additional potential $25,000 to get my license. I just want to fly my gosh darn plane.
Okay. So, can you go back to the stand? I have some questions for McDougan.
Where am I
Sorry,
going?
go back
Over
to
here?
your seat. Sorry. McDougan,
Yes.
from
Your
what
Honor.
you just heard, what was there any incorrect information? Why did you hit him with your baton? Can you clarify that for me again?
He was running. He had just gotten out of a stolen aircraft in which he did not have a license to fly, and I had 0 taser cartridges. So the best solution to end him fleeing and get him into custody was to use my baton.
Okay. And what level of force is that in the
I can't
continuum?
I can't quote you on the exact number, but I know it is equal to the taser.
Less than lethal, level 4.
Yes, it is less than lethal level 4.
My character knows that. Keep that in mind. Okay. Good to know. So,
Can I add to that?
go ahead.
What about the other person who was there? She probably had a taser. Instead, I got beat
What about the other person?
brutally. Another lady with long hair.
Was there another person there, McDougan?
Yes, there's a probationary officer there, Sapphire Wolf.
Okay. So, and stay there, please. So my opinion on this specific argument is that since, per their continuum, they can use less than lethal force, and less than lethal means taser or hands-on or, and I mean fist, or any type of baton device. So that's fine. That doesn't sound out of line.
Uh,
Yes, go ahead, District Attorney.
the state's ready to present its full case whenever you are.
Okay, give me a moment. I just want to get my head wrapped around this a little bit more. So, to be clear here, he landed his helicopter in front of a store. His friend got out to get something, and that's why you were there in the first place, right?
Correct, except it was not his helicopter. It was a stolen helicopter.
Okay. Stolen helicopter. Did you hop on the ATC channel to check?
I did not, Your Honor. Complete honesty, I did not, and I kind of just assumed that since he had stolen the helicopter and didn't have a license, he wouldn't have the sense to go onto the ATC frequency, so that charge can be withdrawn.
Okay.
If that is all right with you.
We'll see what the district attorney thinks about that. But
Okay.
can you speak to the armed robbery charge?
Yes. So Mr. Sparrowjack received accessory to armed robbery.
Ah,
Since he was flying the vehicle, Mr. Bacon received the actual armed robbery charge.
okay. You can go back to your position. District attorney, step forward. Go ahead, sir.
Good luck.
So the state's view on this matter is fairly simple. Given it has been, sorry, is that less than 24 or 48 hours in the arrest?
It was yesterday.
Yeah, so given the timeline, this should not be an expungement hearing. This should have been made a actual case through the Department of Justice. Mr. Jack chose not to, and instead chose to go out of his way to purchase an aircraft after immediately having committed a serious violent felony with another aircraft. Just wanting to fly an aircraft that he purchased after knowingly receiving several felonies connected to aircraft, the state does not believe that is adequate enough. Furthermore, we believe his risk of reoffense is very large given the situation and given his connection to Chris P. Bacon, even going to the point of stealing an aircraft to help him with an armed robbery. To the point of the use of the baton, we believe that is irrelevant to this matter, given that if Mr. Jack would like to pursue civil litigation or appeals, again, that is other routes not suitable for expungement, which say if Mr. Jack reappeals in a month, we would be willing more to hear his case, provided he has good behavior and has not committed any more offenses using aircraft.
Okay. All right, sit back down. Do you have any comments or concerns, defendant?
Absolutely.
Step forward.
Let me tell you. Oh, man. Okay. So, I was already in the helicopter by the time I received the call to that Chris needed help. It was not a grab a helicopter to help him in that specific situation. I was already flying that helicopter.
But you
And
had
in
stolen
other
it,
terms,
correct?
it's possible. In other terms, I found it unlocked, and I figured, well, maybe it's a training helicopter, right? And I need to learn, so I follow the precautions and everything. And also, I purchased the plane because the guy told me, "Oh yeah, you have flying problems? That's no problem. Yeah, you can get a license anyways." And then today he tells me otherwise. That's why I purchased the plane. It was a absolute bamboozling on the salesman part. I guess he works on commission. And that's all.
All right. Sit back down, please. Okay. So, I've heard everybody's side, including the officer who wrote the report, or lack thereof. But we've heard what happened, at the very least. We have a good idea what happened. So, here's what I'm willing to do, Mr. Sparrowjack. If you, from here on out, do not commit another crime regarding anything with aircraft and also felonies, okay, I want to see some good fucking behavior here. Pardon my French. But if I see no crimes in the next 14 days, I will be very willing to remove this charge and this charge alone from your record to where you could fly an aircraft that you had just purchased. However, I would recommend that the next time that you decide to steal a helicopter, understand that you might never fly again. Okay? Now,
Yes, that does sound good, Mr. Judge.
for now, the appeal or the expungement hearing is denied, as I don't think it's been long enough, and I do think that this should have been a bench trial. Okay? It's too late now. Now,
I was not aware on how to create said trial.
that being said, McDougan, please step to the stand. McDougan, this is a first time that I've seen this where a report has had a wrong charge put on and also missing the report. Now, I don't think it's necessary to outline this in the courtroom, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I would like to note for the courtroom that further offenses like this will involve punishments of fines. Okay? I want reports done. I want them clean, and I want you to make sure that you're checking the ATC before making assumptions that they did something. It's a bad look on you, it's a bad look on your fellow officers, and it's a bad look on your department. Do you understand?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Court is adjourned.